Hello and welcome to my dungeon. I don't normally do book reviews or movie reviews or anything of the kind. When I do, it is either because something upset me or because I think it is exceptional good and I have to talk about it. This is one of the later, which is delightful. Today I want to talk about A Player of Games by Ian M. Banks. This is supposedly the second novel in the Culture series, but they are very loosely connected. The only connection pretty much is that they play in the same universe. Other than that, you can read each novel out of order. Doesn't matter, doesn't hamper your enjoyment of the books. Now, the Culture series and Player of Games is set in a far distant future where humans live among the stars and have the technology to do pretty much anything. Rather than live on planets, they live on island-sized spaceships or giant spinning orbital rings. They live in harmony together with machines, with ships, with drones and all different other machines. Nobody really has to work because their automation is so amazing. So the careers and the life that people choose to live is whatever they want. Can be something that looks like a job from the outside, like designing floating island plates for ring orbitals. But you're not doing it for the money, you're doing it because you're really interested. It's your calling, it's your passion. Or it could be like the main character of this story, playing games. Gergely is a middle-aged man that has played and won pretty much any game that is known in the culture. It's his life. He is very well known for it. He's written thesis on game theory, been there, done it all, done it again. And now that his old age is kind of approaching, which is also not really a thing with the technology of the culture, but he's seen a lot and he's getting kind of bored with it. He's craving something more exciting. That is when the contact division of the culture that is responsible for contacting other and alien cultures and civilization, when they approach him with a proposition. They have contacted this far distant culture, and this culture is based around playing a super complicated representation of their whole society. And depending on how well you are doing in the tournaments for these games that are held every 6 years, you get government position up to the Emperor of the Empire. Now, I don't want to spoil too much, but Gergely eventually goes there, and then it becomes very dramatic. Now, I kind of immediately could relate to that character. And this whole concept of the game that was played and this clash of cultures was super interesting. And despite in its core the series being about like high-level sci-fi concepts, it's still a very personal story. And Ian M. Banks manages to write it in a way that always lets me crave to turn the next page. What will happen next? You always have this feeling that something bad could happen at any moment, and eventually it does. He really keeps the reader guessing what will happen next. But when it happens, it doesn't feel cheap. It's like, if you've been a bit more clever, you could have seen this coming. Maybe you even did, but it's still surprising when it happens and how it happens. So I can give this book and this series my wholehearted recommendation. Let's call it a Seba seal of approval. Now, spoilers from here on out, because I just want to ramble about the different concepts that are in the series, in the book. Despite me really liking the book, I had a creeping feeling of unease while reading it and while thinking about it. The cosmic horror type of unease. You've got to imagine in the culture series, humanity, or what passes for humanity in that distant future, is ruled by AI. The so-called minds have altered the human genome and engineered humans to be arguably better than ever before. You can regrow limbs, you can change sex on a whim, you don't really get sick, you live much longer, you can easily adapt to different planetary conditions like more radiation, different atmospheres, different levels of gravity. So pretty amazing, all of that, and they live in a far beyond Star Trek utopia where everyone can pursue their dreams and live their best lives. The trade-off is that humanity is really ruled by AI. These minds have even created the language that is like unifying the culture, Moraine, and it is designed in such a way that the humans who speak it and who think in it embrace the concepts of the culture, which are pretty cool concepts like love, liberty, equality. It's not really stated anywhere what they actually are, but you get the feeling that these cultured guys have a pretty good life. But what is missing from their lives is like choice, the ability to choose for yourself, because the entire thing, especially player of games, feels like the events have been preordained by the ship minds, and everyone is just a piece in the game that they are playing. Like Gorge and the Emperor are playing this game for the fate of the Empire with all these pieces. But Gorge never makes the step of abstraction that this game is a representation of reality and that there's a larger game at play there where he is only a piece in it. Else he might have seen many of the plot developments coming and acted differently, and he would probably have been horrified by the whole concept. Now, seeing how our own society works with all the suffering, death, violence, economic struggle, war, sickness, destruction of the environment, and so on, all of these problems that we are facing right now, you can get the impression that we might actually need an AI to take charge of our government and steer us in the right direction, like a benevolent God. That certainly is a point worth thinking about. But at the same time, it's kind of really horrible and scary to give up your personal power, responsibility to choose the course of your own life, and then in the larger sense the fate of the entire species, to an unknowable machine. You can really only hope and pray that the machine has your best interest in mind and he's not doing some really scary, inhumane stuff in the background that will come to bite you on the ass in 10,000 years' time or so. You never know. And like in the Culture series, you get the impression that these minds are treating the humans well. The humans are living their best lives. It seems to work out. But I also got the impression that humans are kind of pets to these minds. Something to fawn over and to find cute, and maybe they're happy to see their humans prosper, but it's like a child having an ant colony on their desk. Who knows when the machine minds will get bored with watching the little tiny humans on these space stations, on these glass boxes that they have made for their tiny little humans. Oh, they're so cute. Now, to give this another level of cosmic horror, Elon Musk, you might have heard about, is a huge fan of the Culture series. So much that SpaceX have named the drone ships that the Falcon 9 rockets used to land on in the Pacific Ocean after the ships from the Culture series, like Read the Manual, or Of Course I Still Love You, Limiting Factor, all ship names from the Culture series. And he has stated that he loves these books because they are a positive vision for the future. Which I would agree on the surface level they are. But then there's this AI minds controlling the fate of humanity thing. And he's running one of the largest AI companies in the world. So if he is really following through with his love for the Culture series, he might be creating the AI overlord. And if he does, if anyone does for that matter, we can only hope and pray that the AI overlord will have humanity's best interests in mind and be a benevolent god, and we don't get a Skynet situation or worse. Man, the future could really be bright and wonderful or horrible. It can go either way. What really works me up about it is the uncertainty. I can't tell in which direction it will go. It's a 50-50 chance as far as I am concerned. And I don't see that I have any power to do anything to steer it in the right direction, which is not a great feeling. But yeah, enough of me rambling about stupid topics. It's a great book. I think you will enjoy reading it. That's it for today. Thanks so much for listening to my little video. I wish thee safe travels, dreamers, until we shall meet again.